Hello and welcome to a fresh new episode of Science Monitor, our weekly update on all that is happening in the field of science and technology in and around the country. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Let's take a look at the headlines first. From observer to associate member, India joins CERN. Infosys Prize 2016 announced, recognizes outstanding research. India mourns Professor M.G.K. Menon, champion of Indian science, bids adieu. And killing two birds with one stone, developing smart toilets with waste plastic. And now the news in detail. India will now have a larger role to play in CERN experiments. Yes, India has moved from the observer status to being an official associate member state of the world's largest particle physics laboratory, CERN. The associate membership, which followed a recent signing of agreement, opens up new avenues of knowledge for Indian researchers and industries.
The outstanding scientific caliber and technical expertise of Indian physicists has been recognized once again by the international scientific community. This time, the recognition comes in the form of a rare and much-awaited honor, an associate membership of world's largest nuclear and particle physics laboratory, European Organization for Nuclear Research, or CERN. Yes, India is now officially an associate member state of CERN, following an agreement signed by Dr. Sekhar Basu, Chairman, Atomic Energy Commission and Secretary, Department of Atomic Energy, and CERN Director General Dr. Fabiola Gianotti in Mumbai on 21st November. With this, India will now be a larger part of the global, collaborative scientific and technological experiments that aims to understand the fundamental structure of the universe, using the most sophisticated scientific instruments and advanced computing systems. The associate membership comes following the observer status of CERN, which was granted in recognition of Indian contributions in 2003. CERN, which is based in Geneva at present, has 22 member states, 4 associate member states, 4 states with the observer status, and 3 international organizations. Indian researchers are especially involved in the field of large-scale computing and has been a major player in the designing, developing, and deploying software for the worldwide Large Hadron Collider grid with 96% uptime. As an associate member state of CERN, Indian researchers will now have an opportunity to be a part of high-end technology related to high-energy accelerators, opening up new avenues of knowledge.
Well, as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. Well, as India becomes the associate member of CERN, Indian researchers will shoulder more accountability. Well, to discuss this today, we have with us in our studio Professor Praful Kumar Behra from IIT Madras, who has worked at CERN. Dr. Behra, welcome to our program. Dr. Behra, as you have been associated with the CERN for a long time, so we would like to know from you what has been the Indian contribution so far in CERN research.
So, the Indian participation started in early 80s with few of the institute collaborating with CERN experiment. But when LSC experiment was formed and Indian community put together an effort to participate bigger way, and one of the major contribution from Indian side was outer hadron calorimeter, and recently silicon pre-shower detector for the CMX experiment, as well as there is another experiment which called ALICE. Indian participant is larger than CMS also. So I would say that we are involved in detector development, development of the software, doing the data analysis, as well as few of the other institute got involved in the accelerator activities as well, for example, RRCAT. So our participation was a bigger way as we move towards the end of the LSC commissioning, and now is the data taking, which focuses more on the operation and data analysis, looking forward for the upgrade activities.
All right, so India has been playing a very important role at CERN, but now after joining CERN as an associate member state, so what are the new roles that India would be playing in the largest experiments of the world? What would be India's contributions now?
So far, Indian institutes were participating or working at CERN as part of the experiment. So we really collaborate with the institute as part of the experiment like CMS and ALICE. We connect to CERN through this experimental collaboration. Now, once India becomes associate member,
Yes.
we make a connection with the CERN directly. That way, it opens up many different avenues to work directly with CERN. For example, our young physicists or students can directly participate in the experiment through CERN, associate with the CERN. So far, that was not the case actually. We always have to take our own responsibility, go there, do our activities, come back.
All right, so it is a big opportunity for India's youngsters and researchers who are interested in the activities that are going on in CERN. What can you tell us about that?
As of now, CERN has a lot of possibility to hire the scientists from all over the world, but it limited to the member state and some extent to the associate member state.
All right.
So after India became associate member, this avenue opens. So second one is, I would say that now CERN becomes the international hub of technology. A lot of R&D is going on on the different front, and if our association start directly with CERN, a lot of know-how can come to India,
All right.
the technological aspect.
And sir, will Indian industries be also benefited by this association?
This is our the main goal is how we can get this technology, if at all we are bringing it, is for the industry to grow and compete with worldwide actually. For example, I think recently we could manage to work with one of the company in Bangalore for the gem detector, and they could get know-how, and they are producing world-class manufacturing thing. So second one, I would like to say that on the silicon aspect, where CMS, Indian CMS community want to contribute and make everything in India. That is one of these silicon tracker detector and high granularity calorimeter. These two aspects India want to play a bigger role, and the silicon R&D and production has to happen in India. We are trying our best with one of the company in Bangalore.
All right. So this is going to be an important association, just not only going to benefit the young Indian researchers, but also industries are also going to be benefited by this amazing association. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Behra, for joining us and sharing your perspective on that entire story. Now moving on to the next story. According to recent reports, Infosys Prize for 2016 has been announced, and like every year, an eminent panel has selected the winners based on their outstanding contributions across 6 categories. So who all are the lucky winners to bag this year's prestigious Infosys Prize? Let's see this report.
India is a large pool of experts in various fields, and the fact is proved once again with the announcements of the annual Infosys Prize by the Infosys Science Foundation. The foundation has announced the Infosys Prize for the year 2016 and has recognized experts across 6 categories for their outstanding contributions.
They are a remarkable set of researchers and scientists Their combined research adds to our understanding of diverse aspects of the human experience and our place in the universe. Their fields of study range from fighting diseases to ideas that span the length of time to exploring the depth of space.
This year's Infosys Prize for Engineering and Computer Science was awarded to Professor V. Kumaran for his outstanding research on complex fluids and complex flows, and especially in transition and turbulence in soft wall tubes and channels, which find applications in cardiovascular and pulmonary health. The prize for life sciences will be awarded to Professor Gagandeep Kang, a physician scientist and the executive director of Translational Health Science and Technology Institute. Professor Kang has made pioneering contributions towards understanding the natural history of rotavirus and other important infectious diseases. Her findings have global implications for vaccines and other public health measures to manage these infections. Similarly, the Infosys Prize for Mathematical Sciences is to be awarded to Professor Akshay Venkatesh of Stanford University for his seminal work on modern number theory using wide-ranging techniques. While the prize in Physical Sciences goes to Professor Anil Bhardwaj, Director, Space Physics Laboratory, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, for his contributions in the field of planetary science and exploration, especially with respect to understanding solar wind interactions with lunar surface and thermal escape of the Martian atmosphere using Chandrayaan-1 and Mars orbiter missions.
Experiments on Chandrayaan-1 and Mars orbiter mission.
Coming to social sciences, this year's Infosys Prize for Humanities has been awarded to Professor Sunil Amrit of Harvard University for his outstanding research on the history of migration, environmental history, and the history of international public health, and in particular, his research on the interrelated past of contemporary Asia.
And in recognition of the social science.
While the Infosys Prize for Social Sciences, Economics has been bagged by Professor Kaivan Munshi of University of Cambridge for his work on the analysis of the multifaceted role of community, such as ethnic groups and castes, in the process of economic development.
Remarkably deep analysis of the
The winners were selected by an eminent jury comprising renowned scientists and professors.
Found the Infosys Science Foundation.
Instituted under the aegis of the Infosys Science Foundation, the prestigious Infosys Prize annually recognizes experts in various fields for their outstanding contributions to research and society.
And now it is time to take a short break. We'll be back with more science news. Keep watching Science Monitor.
The Harappan period is also called the Bronze Era. Extensive collection from the era shows the Indus artists were not only well versed in techniques of metallurgy, but also innovations in dance and performing arts. This is best seen in the famous Mohenjo-daro relic, the Indus dancing girl. No less impressive is the man drawing a bullock cart depicting agriculture activities. Bronze elephants, on the other hand, show domesticated animals used for transport.
An outstanding researcher, a leading administrator and institution builder, adjectives are many to describe Professor M.G.K. Menon. The veteran of Indian science bid adieu to the world on the forenoon of 22nd of November. He was 88 years old.
Goku to friends, and Goku Dada to kids. Professor M.G.K. Menon was a man of many faces. Hailed as one of the leading champions of Indian science and the last surviving architect of science and technology in independent India. Professor Menon played a crucial role as a science administrator and institution builder during his career, spanning 5 decades. A close associate and disciple of Homi Jahangir Bhabha, Professor Mambili Kalathil Govind Kumar Menon was born in Mangaluru in 1928. Professor Menon was a high-energy physicist in all senses. During his early days of research, Professor Menon worked on subatomic particle decay, which proved vital for the discovery of parity non-conservation in such processes. He is known for developing methods to use large photographic emulsion stacks for the measurement of cosmic rays at high atmospheric altitudes and the processes of decay of high-energy particles like K mesons. Professor Menon spearheaded many balloon flight experiments to understand cosmic rays and the deep underground experiments with cosmic ray neutrinos at the Kolar goldfields during 1960s. Owing to his outstanding leadership capabilities and vision, Professor Menon was entrusted with many scientific leadership roles by Indian scientific community. He served as the director of Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai, during 1966 to 1975. He was a member of the Planning Commission in 1982 to 1989, has served as the chairman of the Indian Space Research Organization in 1972, and the scientific advisor to the Prime Minister in 1986 to 89. He has also served as the president of the National Science Academies and as the Minister of State for Science and Technology and Education during 1989 to 1990, besides many other positions. During his illustrious career, he played a crucial role in supporting the development of scientific facilities in the country, such as the Ooty Radio Telescope and the giant meter wave radio telescope and electronics and software sector. He promoted self-reliance and indigenization of technology with focus on scientific excellence.
Under the banner of equality and democracy, circumstances operate powerfully against the development of excellence in science. The primary responsibility is the scientific community itself, which must recognize excellence as something precious, which requires the effort of the community to cultivate and nurture.
As he bid adieu to us on the forenoon of 22nd November at the age of 88. The nation will greatly miss Professor Menon's guidance and advice.
Non-biodegradable plastic waste, an environmental and health menace which is assuming horrifying proportions. While our cities fast sink behind plastic heaps and our villages battle with sanitation problems, researchers have developed a technology to tame both problems in one go. Yes, the novel technology by CSIR NPL converts plastic waste into tiles which can then be used to construct smart toilets.
Bewildering and terrifying. According to a recent estimate, about 60 Indian cities produce over 15,342 tons of plastic waste per day, with about 6,000 tons remaining uncollected and littered across the nation. This amounts to a major environmental and health problem, both for human beings as well as animals who unknowingly ingest this plastic waste. Added to this is the issue of open defecation. It is again estimated that about 52.1% of the country's rural population still defecates in open, posing a major health and sanitation problem. Now, researchers at CSIR National Physical Laboratory have developed a novel technology to tackle this double problem in a single go. Yes, the technology is called recycling of plastic wastes into tiles for structure designing for societal usage. The project makes use of shredded waste plastic bags and bottles to create special plastic tiles with the help of fillers. The plastic tiles can then be used to design structures for societal usage like toilets or rooms.
We have developed this technology which will be beneficial to society, as these structures made up of these plastic tiles have great environmental stability. We have tested them from various conditions, acid test, base test, and then we have improved its flame retardancy also. These tiles have a great service life, like they can serve for like 25 to 30 years without any fault, no corrosion, no wear tear, and have environmental resistance as well. UV protection is also a main feature of these tiles. And we are also further improving this technology by adding more fillers into it and taking it ahead for anti-static applications.
Demonstrating the effectiveness of this technology, the team has created a prototype of a smart toilet using the tiles made of waste plastic. This waterless toilet, which can be built at a nominal cost, comes with a solar panel and luminescent inner door, which provides light at night, and a UV protection technology. According to experts, various tests have shown that the structure made of plastic tiles have great environmental stability and has a service life of 20 to 30 years. The technology is being transferred to the industries and could prove a game changer in managing pollution, both in terms of plastic and human wastes.
Well, that is all for this episode of Science Monitor. Do tell us how do you like our program. You can send your feedback and suggestions. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar, C24, Qutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. And finally, we'll leave you with a few scientific glimpses from the 36th India International Trade Fair being organized at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. Take a look at these visuals as we take your leave. Goodbye.